Project 70, when we write it, we put ProjectLXX.com, was created to provide support for our related businesses and websites. It was specifically to produce, market and sell products for the Old Man's Cafe, World Money Laundering Report, and to support training and education in the areas of financial crime, risk and compliance, with the first range dedicated to money laundering and so on, changes for lawyers in Australia. Project 70 is a division of a company that was formed in 1999. It's been in the same ownership, with the same management, with no material changes in their personal information for well over 25 years. The same formal details and even the same bank accounts. Vortex Centrum is a poster boy for corporate stability. And yet, we've had a whole series of problems trying to set up Project 70, ProjectLXX.com, as an independent business unit. In this series of videos, I'm going to explain exactly what those problems were and how you can hopefully be able to avoid some of them, both through the videos and also through the related book, which explains to you some of the pitfalls of setting up businesses, online businesses, international online businesses, and also actually how to set up and how to create from scratch a website which will take you out of many of the problems that we encountered setting up this very small but nevertheless quite complex business. Why we gave up with Etsy before publicly posting a single product. As a business, we like to find a formula that works and to stick with it. So long as we get consistent service, we're loyal to suppliers. We looked at ways to market our brand, and there are three juggernauts that seem to be essential: Etsy, Amazon, and Shopify. Today we'll look at our experience with Etsy, where we gave up after several weeks and didn't even have a single product on the market. So what went wrong? Honestly, we don't know. But we'll tell you what happened and why we gave up. Etsy is a marketing platform. It doesn't sell, it doesn't keep stock. It's not like Amazon, which has warehousing and fulfillment service. Etsy has two functions that matter to small businesses. The first is a massive global presence. And the second is that it, on the face of it, handles all the complexities of payments and even sales and so on taxes. Now look, Annie of Anchorage selling knitted polar bears or Maureen of Minnesota selling crochet doilies are where Etsy started. Its strength was in cute craft products made by people in their spare time for pin money. And it was perfect. If it had a rival, the nearest was eBay, which was by that point not so much an auction site as it once was. So when we wanted to put our arty products, including t-shirts, mouse mats, cushion covers on Etsy, it should have been a doddle. It wasn't a doddle. It's important to remember that Etsy is not a cute down-home group of mates running a hobby site from their garden shed. It's a global powerhouse, and it is a technology and financial technology company. It's the technology bit that ultimately drove us away. Etsy needed to make sure it was dealing with a real company run by real people. Excellent, they should. But as part of the verification process, it relied on using a mobile telephone number. To enter the mobile phone number, it was necessary to first select a country code from a pick list. The list is not complete. So we asked support. Support said, it's there. A screenshot from the user's PC proved it wasn't. So someone in tech had failed to make the internal system match the public system. Several weeks later, an email arrived. Was there a reason that we hadn't completed the registration process? So two more parts of Etsy's back end were not joined up. We explained, referred to the support question, and asked if it had been fixed. Several weeks later, we were told, no prior information on this, that we could use an authenticator app. And we use an authenticator app for various websites, but by this point, we'd already made significant progress on ProjectLXX without Etsy, and identified other reasons to question if we needed it. We concluded not. What were the other reasons? First was too many other products to be able to rely on a search engine to find us. Secondly, a cost structure that was far too complicated and included various fees and charges, all of which might vary individually, so we would never be able to definitively set our margins. And margin is what keeps businesses alive and thriving. So we pulled the plug, removed all of our presence from Etsy, looked around for alternatives. It was a horribly fraught process as we found obstacles put in our way at every turn. Business should not be this hard. We got cross. What if we changed our strategy? Were there ways of building a platform under our own control? You betcha, and you can too. We built a new platform at ProjectLXX.com. We tested it, populated, started selling from it, and then we did it all over again, that time documenting every step from starting a business through installing software and building a website from scratch to launching our own brand. Follow the model, and you can too. All within your own control, all with costs contained and predictable.